welcome back to Tampa Bay Business Connection Show. Oh my, this week we got a great lineup. First coming out of the gates, right here, we're going to go right now, is Raenell Shirley with Be a Light Missions. So I'm going to just kind of shut up now because I watched this young lady the other day just give her presentation, and it was amazing. But first thing is what is Be a Light?
So thank you, John. Be a Light was founded May of 2020, and our focus was primarily on doing meals to start.
Okay.
So the thinking was meals are that door, it's that relationship. And then from there, you can kind of find out, well, what's wrong?
Right.
How can we solve this problem?
Right.
And so what was born out of that was the need to put together a housing program. And so for Be a Light, we start with the meal, and we say it's one meal at a time. We're just trying to reach folk. You know, we're trying to do that fishing. And then once we got you, then it's okay, now how do we get you out of this situation that you're in?
Right.
So for Be a Light, we provide meals, we provide clothing, supplies, bedding, we do rent utility assistance, move-in assistance. So there's a rapid rehousing element.
Right.
We also just started the Lighthouse, which is opening formally March 28th.
Yay.
Yes, yay! It's on 8425 Arcola Avenue, which is right off of US 19 and Arcola Avenue, a block north of New York.
Right.
We're opening that as a homeless resource center.
Okay.
So all of these kinds of services that you need to try and attack the problem more head on,
right,
and not just kind of put a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
It's starting to bring them into there and say, hey, look, we got to love on you, honey. What you need? You need something to eat? Okay, fine. But you know you need a little bit more.
Right.
You need that employment. You know you need a little bit more. You need skills. You got to be able to read. You got to know how to balance your checkbook. You got to know how to save money so you can pay your rent. All of those things that we think is part and parcel of just everyday life, these folks don't know.
Right.
So it's kind of helping to rebuild and provide a means of a sustainable, independent living, you know, for those who want it.
Okay, so I just want to, why the homeless? I mean, really, I loved it, but why did you focus on the homeless?
Quite frankly, it was more of an evolution to it.
Okay.
Because my focus was not on the homeless initially. God kind of started to work on me and you know, recognize I say that we are not a church, but we are the church.
Right.
And so therefore, I started off doing mission trips. Right. To Puerto Rico, and we were rebuilding some of the homes that were destroyed in the course of the hurricanes, as well as with the earthquakes. And God put on my heart when I came back home, it's like, wait a second, there's so much going on around here.
Take care of your own backyard.
Take care of your own backyard, yes. Before you go out there and you say, oh, look at, no.
Not saying that's not important, but
it's important for here too. You know, they have need, yes, but we have need here. I'm walking past all of these people who have nothing so that I can get on a flight to go to help somebody else and give them the same things that I can be bringing them here. So after my gallbladder surgery,
oh my.
I was recuperating, and one of my ministry team leaders, from the mission team leaders rather, from Puerto Rico, contacted me and said, hey, Ray, I'm planning a church, and I'm looking at this one building in Holiday. Can you come take it out with me? And I said, okay,
sure,
I'm looking at it. And he said, by the way, there's a ton of homeless here. And at the time, I was looking to do a meal ministry, and I was going to try and help out first responders, whomever, just who needs, because need is need.
Yes.
Right? And that was the very first weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend. I just came off of recovering from gallbladder surgery.
Oh, my.
And we started just taking sandwiches out, just hitting McDonald's and buying hamburgers and cheeseburgers.
Right.
And just saying, hey, are you hungry? Right. That's the only thing. I don't ask you whether or not you're a believer. I don't ask you if you're homeless.
Right.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
You know, and in that moment, then I can open up a relationship. I can open up a dialogue. You know, how are you today?
Right.
You know, I'm Ray. How are you? You know, that's the kind of interaction that we have. And because it's real and it's authentic, we're not trying to dox you, and we're not trying to judge you. We're not trying to send you to the police or anything like that. We're really just trying to help you in this moment because we see you and we believe that God has sent us in that moment to see what you need. How can we help you? You know, it's planting a seed with every interaction. Every meal is another seed. We explain that, you know, with every breath that you have, it's another chance.
Right.
So how can we not keep going out there and just fish?
Yeah.
Come on. Because once we got you, now we're going to teach you how to do it yourself.
Right. So what is the situation in Pasco right now? Because I know we all want to help everybody, but our own backyard, that's Pasco.
Yes.
So what's the situation like right now?
The situation in Pasco right now, people can feel the things around them. You see a lot of folks with the bikes. You see a lot of the signs, but you don't really see some of the things that go on behind the scenes. So a lot of the root cause that we assume is there is around addiction.
Right.
You know, we assume, but it's not it. Mm-mm. You actually have a lot of working poor that are on the street. You know, there's a favorite restaurant that I have, and I won't say which one because I don't want people to get freaked out who would get freaked out.
I was telling my wife about this last night. Yes.
But it's one of my favorite restaurants in the area.
Yeah.
And the sous chef that works there, he comes to our line to get a sandwich. And when we were talking to him, he said, no, I have a job. I can't find housing that I can afford.
Right.
He's working massive hours, but he can't find a house that he can afford. He can't find an apartment. You know, there's also a great deal of fraud.
Right.
Right? So you have someone who puts out an ad saying, hey, we've got a room for $500 a month.
Right.
We don't have to worry about your background check or anything like that. Past evictions, no problem.
Right.
Flag.
Right.
You come in, oh, you have to pay me to look at this place. Yes.
God.
And then what do? You're desperate.
Right, you're going to pay them.
You're going to pay them. Yeah. So you've been working, saving up your money so you can get into a place, only to have somebody rob it from you and you still don't have a place to live.
Right.
Or you end up getting into a place for a few months and then they move in and move you out. And then there's also a nature of a lot of sex work as well. So you have people who come down under false pretenses, only to end up in a sex home where it's, you can stay here, but you got to give it up.
You got to work.
Yes.
Not a good work.
And not a good work.
Oh, geez.
Right.
So, I this went quick.
I'm so sorry about that.
No. Give me a success story. Tell me about something I know, because I know you're beaming proud.
So we do a lot of things through partnerships.
Right.
We can't do it by ourselves. And so we have this one partnership with a group that's just started called Arms of Love.
Okay.
And the folks there, we encountered this one gentleman. I'll to protect his name.
Right.
We'll call him Fred. Okay. But when we encountered Fred, his mother was incredibly worried about him. She pretty much figured that he was just going to die.
Right.
His addiction was going to kill him. He was coming into an intervention, basically.
Right.
I get a phone call, Ray, you got to be here like now. We got someone that we think is ready to go into rehab but we need to move quick.
Yeah.
So go there. We're praying with the mom. We're waiting for this kid, and it's taking forever for him to show up. He finally gets there. And I could see in that moment just God moving. So this kid was, well, not kid, because he's in his 30s, was homeless, heavily addicted to heroin, experimenting with meth, had tried to kill himself several times, isolated from his family, so on and so forth. So in that moment, not only did he accept responsibility for what he did and decide that, yes, we got to do it. Right. So I tell you, 2 days later, we got him rehoused. Yes. Because I don't want to say where we placed him, but we got him replaced. He is in a program. He is thriving. His mother is on cloud nine. She feels she got her son back.
Right.
He is still on his journey. He is still on that journey, but he is happier than he's ever been because he accepted the fact that he needed to do something. And in that moment, we had connections to be able to pull triggers and say, hey, get him through, quick, gotta go. We had funds to get him transported. We had, hey, go.
Yep.
That was beautiful because that's what we need to do.
Yep.
We wrap around with love. We give that advocacy, but you got to have those services to get someone to where they need to be.
So normally I would say, real quick, what can people do to help? You got 30 seconds.
Okay. What you can do to help. First and foremost, we need low-income housing. If you don't have it, then a lot of the working poor have nowhere to stay. So if you know folks who are developers, who are real estate agents, things of that nature, that know of low-income housing, please contact Coalition for the Homeless of Pasco County. They are constantly looking for rental places for people that they have on a list for housing. The other way that you can help is to talk to your local representatives, because quite frankly, some of the challenges that they have from an employment perspective are because of laws that are on the books on a state level, things that make it hard for them to go back to work after they've come off of this out of prison, and so therefore they're the ones who end up under your car. Please talk to your state representatives. Tell them that they have to do more to help with transitioning people out of the penal system. Otherwise, they're going to keep on going on that circle, and they're going to be in your backyard.
All right. Great information. Contact her. If you can help her, help her. If you know someone that can help her, contact her so they can help her. We'll be right back with another great guest right after this. Okay, hey, you know what? We're back with Mike Grande.
Yes.
Correct? And, you know, one of the hottest markets right now is real estate.
Absolutely.
So you are 1%
list. Central Florida.
Central Florida.
Yes, correct.
It's long. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm getting it correctly here.
Yes.
So let's talk about, okay, so immediately, because of my world, what is the 1%?
Okay. So what a lot of people don't know is a standard commission or a typical commission that a lot of agents charge is usually between 5 and 6% commission. And what that breaks up is 2.5%. Let's just take the 5% commission. It's 2.5% for the buyer's agent, 2.5% for the listing agent.
Okay.
So what we do is we reduce our commission for the benefit of the seller, and we drop it down to 1% instead of the 2.5% that other agents charge.
Okay.
And then we offer 2% commission to the buyer's agent because this is a very aggressive seller's market and the demand for homes is there. So what our goal is to save the seller as much money as possible, keep the equity in their home so that they can transition to their next home with more money in their pocket.
Okay, so typical, everybody goes, okay, 1%. Am I going to get full service from you, or is it going to be like, well, you get 1% of my service because I'm getting 1% of you?
Well, here's the thing. We have top agents. Last year, I sold approximately 60 homes, so we're out there doing a lot of work.
Okay.
We offer the full schedule of services. We always use professional photographers. We have the MLS. We have Zillow, Realtor.com. We do exactly the same, if not more, in social media marketing than other companies. So, yes, you get more than full service. You get top service with a top agent for more money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
It is.
So I was looking at your website, right?
Yeah.
And there's this 1, 2, 3 listing program.
Right.
Talk about that 1, 2, 3 listing.
Okay, so that's a program that I've come up with, and what I do is it's playing off the 1% list, and what it is I list for 1% commission. That is my charge for my marketing, my working, negotiating from contract to close. If I bring the buyer, I only charge a 2% commission. The seller still pays for it, but instead of a agent getting a 5 or 6% commission,
right,
I'm doing everything for only a 2% commission. And because of the market the way it is and the way cooperating brokers are, we don't necessarily want to cut the buyer's agent commission, so
right,
we offer them a 2% commission. So basically the program is 1, 2, 3 commission to sell your home.
That is okay. So, why do people say the discounted rates? You get discounted service? I mean, because typically, that's going, well, if he's only getting that much, he's not working very hard.
Well, I absolutely love this question. A lot of people don't complain when they get a deal on a car.
No.
When they get a deal on Amazon.
Right.
Because of the mentality of the real estate industry, it's really a misnomer that we're a discount broker. I call them overpriced brokers. I could do everything they do as well, if not better, and a lot less. Right. So it's not a matter of you getting any discount services or anything. You're getting your rate is less expensive than the traditional realtors. Mm-hmm. We've advanced so much in technology and real estate. Everybody knows it. It happens to every single industry where benefiting the seller with less fees is the goal. We've done that. Everybody can do that. So the question shouldn't be, do you get discount service? It's more asking the traditional real estate agents, why are you charging so much?
Now, that's a good question. So that's actually good response more than not a question. How is the market right now for you?
It is super, super hot for sellers. It is difficult as can be for buyers.
Right.
We're also very good with buyers. It's more advising the client what they need to do with an offer to move forward with the purchase. You have to be very competitive. So we have a strategy to work with buyers to help them get the home against a very competitive market. So inventory is incredibly low.
Right.
So everything that goes on the market sells within hours. I have a program where I kind of stretch it out a little bit, let it breathe to the market so that we get the top dollar for your house.
Right.
On the buyer's side, what we try to do is educate our buyers, let them know where the market is, where they need to come in on an offer. And another big thing is communication with the other agent. So when I represent a buyer, I reach out to the other agent, ask how many offers they have, what would make it best for the seller to move. I look for whatever answers I can get to make my buyer's offer the strongest offer.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm hearing everybody say. Oh, I'm trying to find a house and I can't find a house.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, are you seeing that, and this is not on the sheet, I'm just asking questions, That's what we do. So are you finding there's more cash buyers than there are loan?
It is, well, I'll tell you, a lot of the cash buyers are from these big investment groups.
Okay.
Which is really hammering the markets across America.
Right.
There seems to be a big push by investment groups to get as many properties as possible, turn them into rentals. That does not help, obviously, the person looking for their own home.
Right.
So that's a big push. Inventory is very low. The amount of people looking for homes keeps on growing. So yeah, it is a very, very tough market. It's excellent for sellers. They're walking away with big funds on their house, but it is tough for the buyers. So having an educated, strong negotiating realtor is so incredibly important for a buyer in this market.
Yeah, I'm hearing stories of I bought a house, or I had sold a house and it's $50,000 over what we were even asking for. I'm like, what? That is. I mean, it's to me, it just seems crazy. Do you think it's ever is it gonna level out soon, or are we?
I think. Now you're getting into a lot of economics questions.
Yeah,
The inflation is scary.
Right.
It's scary. Just the cost of gas. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, every single meme is on Facebook about the cost of gas. And being from the mortgage industry, the meme now is we'll finance your gas purchase.
Right.
So,
I got a full tank of gas this
So
week.
I definitely expect a slowdown.
Yeah.
A lot of buyers give up.
Right.
Trying to find, and they look for rentals or whatnot. I do expect it has been super hot for many years. The pandemic, with a lot of people working at home, really pumped a lot of people staying at home, keeping home, or buying a home that has a home office. Hopefully with the pandemic passing, that more people start going back to work and it's not a huge necessity. Right. But I always like more of a level market as opposed to the high highs and the low lows, and Florida's kind of known for the high highs and the low lows. So I would love to see the market cool down a little bit. I would love to see buyers, especially FHA buyers that are getting bid out of every single house out there, get homes. They're a large percentage of our population, and they can't get homes, which is terrible. So I don't think it's a good equilibrium. We are not balanced with buyers and sellers, and I never see that as a good for our market overall.
Okay. Now, we've talked about everything. Where are you doing this at? Are we strictly Pasco or Tampa Bay area?
Well, 1% List is a franchise that I purchased about a year and a half ago. I cover basically where my office is Pasco County, but obviously we cover Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Hernando County on a daily basis. And as more offices come to Florida, we'll see that 1% List spreading across the state.
Okay, so if I'm getting ready to sell my house, what do you want me to do? Go to your website, call you?
Definitely give me a call. You can go to my website, put in the best way to do it is to call me directly at 727-967-9779. I can answer questions. I'll have to ask you questions about where you are in the home in regards to condition, upgrades, things like that. It gives me more information so that I can do a proper comparable market analysis before I come to the house.
Okay.
So best way is to call me directly.
Okay. And you got, so inventory right now, you probably have nothing sitting out there.
I have 2 new listings.
Probably a couple, but
I have actually 2 new listings coming up in Beacon Woods. Having the 1% attracts a lot of sellers trying to maximize the equity in their property. That's our goal, to save the seller as much money as possible. So I am a bit busier than I would say the majority of realtors because I have an excellent product and good value to give them.
Okay. And now, do you sit down? We only got like a little bit, less than a minute left going. Do you sit through that one-on-one little bit of while just to find out true needs, truly wants? Are you ready for this? Because if you sell it today, which could happen, you got a place to go.
On my listing appointment, the first question I always ask in a listing appointment is why you're selling. Right. All right. I'd like to know why they're selling. If they're saying, well, I'm just taking advantage of the market, my next question is, great. Do you have a place to go? Because on the flip side, it's going to be very difficult for you to get a property. So I try to advise people in a full consultation with a listing appointment. I'll go through the house. I'll offer staging suggestions, what they do to get their house in the 100% to get you your top dollar. So it's a full consultation in our listing appointments.
Absolutely phenomenal, man. I'll tell you what, look, folks, if you're out there trying to sell a house, or even if you want to buy one, he does both ways. He's a good guy. But 1% can save you some money. I can save you a lot of money.
A lot of money. Absolutely.
A lot of money. So, look, give him a call. He'll take good care of you. Stick around. We have more guests coming up. Matter of fact, I think we're going to talk to some guy that hangs in trees or something like that. Crazy, crazy stuff. We'll be right back after these. Everybody, we are back, and I told you I'm going to bring back the next guy that hangs out in trees for fun. No, actually for a living. This is James Morris Tree Service, right?
Yes, sir.
So I have to say right out of the gate, you put that one video up there, and that dude was like 70, 80 feet in the air, cutting probably another 30 feet of a tree, and there was houses right there, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, it definitely takes some practice to do.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah. It's exciting. Like when there's something about when people are looking at a skill that you do.
Right.
It's kind of a rush. And it kind of makes you feel good.
I used to watch all the logging guy shows. I love those. I'm like, how are they going to do it this time? And then you see them scramble up a tree and take the top of it off. I'm like, oh my gosh. So what's changed in the last year with Morris Tree Service?
Man, the last year has been a ton of growth.
Yeah.
Right. Our motto this year and our marketing strategy has been about being seen everywhere.
You are everywhere. Billboards, benches, commercials, sides of a bus.
Yes, and that was the goal, and it's working. It's working because at the end of the day, what am I doing? I want to sell you a brand that you know and you trust.
Right.
When you buy a Pepsi, you know the brand.
Yeah.
When you buy a tree service, I want you to know the brand. I want you to feel comfortable. Your home is your biggest investment. Yep. Right? Like we just had the realtor up here. Like that's a big investment. Like why not protect it?
Yeah.
Get to know the people that are coming to your yard instead of just a fly-by-night. Build a relationship.
And see, that makes you different from all the other tree service guys. Actually, it's kind of funny. I put a post out the other day, and man, you were right there with a video.
I might have been spying. I might have been spying on them.
I like
There's a
that,
thing.
right? So, but what makes you different in your company when it comes to your employees, though? Because I hear that's a big deal.
Yeah. So, what makes us different is we put them first, right? Like, we want to know what's going on in your life.
Right.
How can we help? How can we make you better, right? Like, we have a thing that's called #MorrisLife, and it talks about making those around you better. Well, I can't make the community better if I'm not willing to do the most for my employees.
Right.
Right? Like, how are they feeling? What's going on in their life? How is their mental condition?
Right.
Right? Like, they're not just a paycheck. They're not just a
Employee number.
right? Like, we build a bond where we're at, and it starts with care and knowing that you're important and that you're a part of a team. Every person on earth has purpose, and they want purpose. We want you to fulfill your purpose. We want you to be a part of. That's what sets us apart. We care. We want to give you more, and not just money.
Well, knowing that, actually, my next question to you is, so why pick you from all the other tree services out there?
Because we're built on values. This isn't a money thing.
Okay.
This is a relationship thing. That's why the brand is so important, because you need to understand that I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I'm trying to get your kids as kids. I'm trying to build a brand like that. So when I say why pick me or us, it's the values. Integrity, honor, and faith. You have finally found a company that works on principles in the tree service field. Mm-hmm. Our mission statement is to change the way you view the tree industry, right? There's a lot of bad mottos out there of, I hate to say, addicts and things to that nature where they're out taking advantage of people. We want to make sure at the forefront is honor, integrity, and faith, and that's what we are based on. Things happen in this field.
Yeah.
I need you to know that no matter what happens, I've got your back to the fullest.
That is so. Give me some goals. I mean, I feel like I'm having a job interview. Tell me where you want to be in 5 years.
You could be. So our goal for this year really is we just invested into stump grinders.
Okay.
Right? We don't want to do no more subbing out. We want to make sure from start to finish we're there. And with that, we want to start a subdivision for stump grinding only.
Okay.
So that's our next big thing. So a lot of these companies, they will add on these different things that they want to do. We want to stick to what our niche is and get better at what we're really good at. Okay. And we're really good at taking down trees, as you've seen on the video.
Yeah.
So now we want to add that stump grinding division to where it's in-house, start to finish, pay when you're done, pay when you're happy, write the review about us, tell your friends about us, right? So that's what we really want to go after this year, is the stump grinding division.
Okay, let's talk about, I got some other questions for you, but these are the ones popping up right now. So you got it. What is your specialty? I mean, if anybody asks me, well, what do they do? I'm like, well, they'll take care of those super tall trees. But truly, what is the specialty?
Anything over a home, fence, anything that's dangerous. We do try to. We don't want to do the power lines as much.
Right.
We will save that for the electric company,
let them do that.
Our lives matter.
Yeah.
Our employees matter, right?
Right.
But if it's dangerous and over a house, over a pool cage, anything to that nature, that's what we're really good at. If there's a limb that's going out and it takes a certain way to strap it off to make sure it doesn't hit anything, we're going to take the extra mile to figure out how we're going to get this from your pool cage and off without tearing anything.
See, that's one of those things where and I put my post up a couple weeks ago, is I've got one tree, and this thing is super tall, and it's one of those that is going to go, especially in a hurricane. But to take it out, I got a neighbor's yard and a house, and I've got my house, and then it's not too close to the electrical, but I want it. It's got to get done.
So it's a dangerous tree.
It is a dangerous tree. Yeah.
Do you believe we're a good fit for that?
I think you would be a great fit.
So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the camera and you're going to let them know that you're going to be calling more.
I'm going to be calling more tree service.
So, yeah. I mean, and that's what it's about, right? I want you to know that whoever comes to your property from start to finish, right? So our employees get the same work order that the office does that you do. Our foreman comes to you, they go over it, they make sure we're on the same exact page, right? And then when we're done, they will go over it again before you pay and write the review for us.
So this is a big question, because I know people are going to, what area do you cover?
We love staying close to home, right?
Okay.
Especially with gas prices now. We heard that earlier.
Yeah.
You know, we want to keep the cost down for everyone as well.
Right.
We try to do Pasco. We will do a little bit of Pinellas and a little bit of Hernando. Okay. But our sweet spot is Pasco. You know, that's where we really want to focus on, because we know we can give the best savings there.
Right. So, what is one message? One thing that you really want those viewers at home to really grab a hold of?
It's okay to build a relationship. It's okay to trust a service industry. It's okay to look for the future and for your relatives and your family and your friends. You know, the bond you make today with a company can really set up the future of the people you love as well. They're all protected once you create the bond.
That's excellent. That's awesome. I don't know very many service industry that's trying to get that. That's absolutely phenomenal. Good for you, baby.
Thank you.
Good for you, baby.
Thank you.
And so let me tell you, how far out are you right now? Are you booking for this month, next month?
We're out into April.
In April.
You know, and you know, April sounds like a far time, but I promise you, if you're not calling now, you'll be out to June, July, August. And then when them storms are brewing, and you're like, oh, I need to get this done. Well, we're going to be 2 months behind schedule. Right. You know what I mean?
We got tornado season coming up, and we've got hurricane season coming up. So if I go out to my yard and go, I mean, I already did mine, but I know. But what does a homeowner go out and go, oh, you know what? I need to get those trees. What are they looking for? Okay, so if you're by your home, there's a thing called a code-dominant lead. You know, trees are wide, the section that's coming over, and they're usually the big leads. Yes. Normally, we don't even need a hurricane for those to break. Right. You know, those things will fall because in the Y, the water just sits, and it makes it really soft in there. So those code-dominant leads are the number one things to go through people's homes. Ooh. That's why the insurances have been all over you guys about getting everything off the home, right? Right. Like, it's so important because you don't want the bills to keep going up. We don't want the insurance rates to keep going up. Exactly. So a little bit of money now can save a whole lot of time and headache in the future. Okay. You know, code-dominant leads are super, super important to get rid of your home. Okay. All right. So is it true that if whatever the canopy is, the root system is twice that? My man, were you doing some research before I got here? I don't know. Come on, man. You never know. Come on. Yeah, so it's called a drip line, right? Okay. Like, you remember, have you ever, like, it's been raining, you're like, let me go underneath the tree so I don't get as wet, right? Yeah. But if you stand on the outside of the tree, you're getting soaked. Soaked. The trees are so smart, they know they have to go all the way to the end. You know, they have to get to the source to keep them alive. No, there's nothing underneath them. Not as much as it is out there. So it goes out. That is super slick. It goes to the drip line. That, you know? See, I learned something today. All right, so what's the best way to get a hold of you? 727-326-4337. But you know what? Go to our website, morristreesfl.com. You can fill out a whole form right there on the spot. It hooks right up to our system at House Call Pros. We get you right in our system, and we get you scheduled today with a free estimate. There you go. See? Hey, stick around. I think we're going to talk about some coffee coming up. I like coffee. I love coffee. Coffee is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, we're back. You know what? here's the one thing that you never get to see a lot of on our business shows is we actually brought a church in because God knows we need some Jesus around this place. Now, everybody knows me. This is David from 12 Church. Now, this is the church that I go to. Love this guy, young man. It's kind of funny. I'm sitting in the audience, and the first time I ever saw him, I'm like, wow, I got a 10-year-old talking to me. That's just freaking awesome, man.
I look at least 14.
Well, okay, 14.
14.
Yeah, he does, 14. So, hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And let's talk about 12 Church and why you started 12 Church.
Great. Well, thank you for having me, first of all. Honored to be here. Well, I'm from right here in Pasco County. I grew up 10 minutes away in Embassy Hill, Chantilly Lane.
Oh, wow.
Grew up.
Yep.
And, went to Fox Hollow Elementary, Bayonet Point Middle, Ridgewood High. So, the normal thing was kind of, for those that grew up here, was like, let's get out.
Yeah.
But for me, I love it.
You stayed.
I love Pasco County.
Okay.
Jesus saved me when I was a senior in high school, and immediately gave me a desire, a passion, some would say vision, for a church that would minister to the people of Pasco County.
Right.
And it became real a couple of years ago that if there was going to be a church that I envisioned in Pasco County, for Pasco County, I was going to have to start it. So gathered a team, and my wife and I moved back to start 12 Church. And it's been an interesting...
You went to actually seminary school, right?
Well, I went to college to play football in Oklahoma, but it was not a Christian college. I studied English.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you speak so well.
Something
Unlike
like that.
me, that's why you speak so well up on that stage.
Something like that, yeah. But I played football. I know I don't look like it, but I played football in college, studied English, and did some ministry in Texas and then on the other side of Pasco County. But it just seemed like the entire journey was setting me up and my wife up to be here and plant this church. And I hope I get to be a part of this church until the day I die.
There you go.
That's the hope.
So here's something funny. You started this church at the absolute most worst time to ever start anything.
True.
And you did it.
True.
And it didn't kill you.
It did not kill us.
It made you stronger.
As, yeah, you can say that. You can say that. Yeah, we started the church on March 1st of 2020 and had no idea COVID was, right upon us. So we started the church, had a great launch day. More people attended our launch day than in the history of the network of churches that we're a part of. So it was really exciting. It was like years and years of waiting and planning and preparing, and all led to this one moment, big, great launch day, and then the whole world shut down the next week.
Right.
Everything. It was just, yeah. And so we were forced, just like everybody else was, to adjust, to change things up. Yeah, pivot, because we had no idea, like nobody did. Nobody knew if this was going to be a week long, if this was going to be 2 weeks long, if this was going to be a year. Nobody knew.
Right.
Nobody knew. And so we became an online church real fast.
Real fast.
Real fast, yeah. And logic says we should have closed.
Right.
Yeah, that should have shut us down. And unfortunately, a lot of churches...
They did. And a lot of businesses.
Businesses, yeah.
I come from a church background. I was a preacher's kid.
Yep.
9 yards. We started several churches. And me and my brain said, this church, great vibes, great energy, whole 9 yards. But I'm going to start looking for another church. But then all of a sudden, one of your people in your church knew my wife.
Okay.
And my wife said, hey, they want us to go to church. We were going to church that day. And then all of a sudden we looked at Facebook, oh, they're not having church, but they're having it online.
Yes.
Which was awesome. And what a great sermon.
Thank you.
So 55 years old I am, right? And
Yeah.
I have probably heard every sermon out there that can be preached.
Sure.
In different ways, right? And the first one that you did, I'm like, oh, you started, I'm like, I've heard this before. And then I got done, I looked at my wife and I went, that was good.
Thank you.
I mean, he brought that across like, I've never heard it, but man, you made it so simple and easy to, and that's what you do. You really do make it where the kids can sit in the church and actually pay attention and go, oh, I get that.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you've moved a couple of times. Let's talk about all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, once COVID happened and the uncertainty became upon us, typically when you start a church, obviously resources are limited, money is limited, so you only have a few options to gather. It's not like a brand new church can go buy a building.
Right.
So you're sort of forced to rent facilities, and schools are usually primary targets.
Right.
So we launched in a school,
Yep.
but then when COVID happened, the schools were like, hey,
Can't come in.
nobody can be in here.
Yep.
So then we had to move to a different school, and then that school got a COVID outbreak, so they kicked us out, and but they had to do what they had to do. Everybody was operating the best that they could.
Right.
I mean, so there's no bitterness, but yeah, that school, I won't even mention them because I still love them, but they just said, yeah, you have to be out of here. So then we moved to the movie theater.
Which was awesome.
Which was awesome because they weren't open.
Right.
Brought them a little bit of business.
Yeah.
Gave us a chance, but once they opened, it wasn't possible anymore. So now we're at another school. And so, 4 different locations in less than 2 years.
Right.
It seems like as soon as we get the rhythm down, and as soon as we get used to a place, God moves us to another location. So I think one thing we've proven is we can pretty much do church anywhere.
Right.
Give me a cafeteria or a gymnasium or an auditorium or a movie theater, we can figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And online.
And online. Yeah.
It was great. Because my world is streaming.
Yes.
And when I see a church stream, I go, oh, they're progressive. That's awesome. I'm going to get this church, whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And the location that we're in now is out of the park awesome.
River Ridge High School.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. River Ridge High School, the Center for the Arts. Now, I'm pretty sure that their primary function is to service really all the schools in Pasco County, right? Band, recitals, and then different things. They have welcomed us with open arms. It's hard when you rent a place as a church because, you want to feel welcome.
Right.
You want to feel like you're not an annoyance on the people. They make us feel right at home. Great partnership, huge facility. We finally have room to grow.
Right.
We couldn't ask for a better situation. Believing one day we'll be able to have a place where we can, exist 7 days a week and minister and serve the community every single day. But for now, we're praising God for the opportunity to be at River Ridge High School. And you could not ask for a better temporary location than that, for sure. You talked about us being online, and I know you know this, but we filmed our online services from a closet.
I do know that.
This thing was like 8 foot by 10 foot, and this couple in our church graciously donated the space to us, and we set up cameras and lighting and stuff, and the camera was right here in my face, man, and it was it was very interesting but fun.
Yeah.
To be creative and things like that, and I wouldn't trade that season for anything. It was certainly fun, for sure.
Awesome. Now, we got about 2.5 minutes left. Everybody's out there going, okay, your church, what's your core? What's your belief? Because, first people go, I don't want to do bad, so I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. Let's talk about what that core value is.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the vision for our church, really the heart of it is this community, is Pasco County, and reaching people in Pasco County. You mentioned earlier about how I keep it simple. Well, there's a reason for that. Our target audience, our core people that we're looking to reach are people that are not about the church. They don't love church. They don't really understand a lot of the spiritual lingo, some of the religious language. So we stay away from all that. We want to keep things really, really simple. The vision is not to be a church that belongs to a denomination or even be a non-denominational church, but an interdenominational church where people from different backgrounds and traditions can feel at home. Right. Our message is simple. God is good. Mankind is not, right? And but God has come to rescue us in Jesus Christ.
There you go.
Died on the cross for our sins, rose again, and we can be saved by grace through faith in Christ alone.
Perfect.
And that is the core of everything that we communicate. Now, we have fun. We keep it casual.
Oh, yeah.
We have loud music.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's literally,
right?
The service is awesome. We have great music.
Kids.
Great sermon. The kids are so well taken care of.
Kids ministry is unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're certainly not stiff. We want to keep it fun, energetic, passionate, creative.
You can show up in your favorite football jersey. We did last Sunday.
Absolutely you can. I preach usually in this or something very similar. Right. Very casual atmosphere, but serious about the message of the gospel and Jesus Christ, and passionate about reaching people in Pasco County.
Let's tell everybody where you're at so that way they can come and visit us on Sunday.
Sundays, 2 identical worship experience times, 9 a.m. and 10:30 at River Ridge High School. And our services last about an hour. If you have children with you, they're going to love it, I promise you. Take them once, they'll beg you to come back. And if you do come one Sunday, be sure to stop me and say hi. I'd love to meet you.
Yeah. There you go. So I recommend this church. I recommend David. He's a great
Thanks,
guy.
John.
Pastor David. I'm so,
David's fine.
I'm old school. Pastor David said.
David's fine.
David. So make sure you look at the website.
Yeah.
We've been showing it the whole time. Give them an email. What
You can
time?
email.
What services start?
9 with 2 services, 9 a.m. and 10:30. They're identical.
Right.
So either one you come to, you'll get the same experience and you'll love it.
There you go. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be back in a short little notice because we got some great more people coming on. Be right back. Okay, so back here with Wayne, right? Neat coffee bar, but it's more than just a coffee bar.
Absolutely.
If I'm correct.
Correct.
Right?
Yes,
So it's let's talk about it because I love the tagline where we do business.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm thinking we got some things going on here. Let's talk about Neat Coffee Bar.
So it's funny because not just the name and that part of it, but when our customers walk in, sometimes they do a double take. They're like, am I supposed to be in here?
Right.
And then we're like, no, come on in. So we are a coffee bar and a co-working space.
Nice.
So when you come in, you'll see some office setup. And you'll see 2 spaces, 2 rooms that people can rent out. And we have memberships, and we'll take you through that. But we start off with the baseline.
Okay.
Absolutely great coffee. So
What kind of coffee?
it's Dancing Goats, and
Ooh, I actually have had Dancing Goats.
and we're selling it now there. So
Really?
Yeah. So we had their guy come down, train the staff and myself, and I went through the barista course, so I know.
So you're a barista now.
I am. Well, it's a neat barista.
Okay.
Because we still have to, our clientele is very different.
Right.
It's business people.
Right.
So I think we post a lot of things about the type of meetings and networking that we have going on there. It's a space really for the community.
Okay.
So,
No, so I heard you said membership. Do I have to
Yep.
buy a membership to get coffee, or can I
No.
come in and just get a good cup of coffee?
no, you can come right in, and we love that because we have a lot of tourists that are down here, They, Michigan, Wisconsin, everywhere, they're down here, and they're like, oh, do we have to have a membership? No, you don't. Do you have to have a membership to use the room? You can rent the room out because you're from out of town. We had a guy from Jersey come in there. He says, I'm only here today. I need coffee, Wi-Fi, and a space to sit down.
Right.
I was like, check.
And
We
check.
got you.
Gotcha.
And it was $20 for the day.
What?
Yeah. So half a day is $10. So
So if I just want to come hang out with you guys, I can do $20. I get Wi-Fi, a place to sit down, and some coffee.
a little bit better
Oh.
if you wanted the room, but you can sit at our bar counter, which is very comfortable. You can get the coffee, get the Wi-Fi still, and do your work up there. And we have power ports for your cell phone, everything all set up.
Wow.
So
That's amazing, actually. And that's something. Now you're located in downtown Newport Richey.
correct.
Yes.
Directly across from the Chamber of Commerce. So
Are you in? When you say across, are you north-south cross or east-west cross?
So we're south of that. So it's the apartment buildings that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So you're in one of the bottom little businesses
Yes,
down there.
yes, sir.
Here's a new lesson. I never, and you can scold me for doing it. I'm never again going to say a little business, because everybody goes, oh, you got a great little business. Oh, you got a great little business. No, I have a business.
No, our ego's outside.
Yeah.
We're humble as ever. No, we got a great little business. And
So are networking people coming in going, hey, can we meet
absolutely.
here once a week? And
yes.
how big are the rooms that you can rent out?
So the rooms are 8 by 12, and
Okay.
there's a smaller one that's 8 by 8.
Okay.
And then
Perfect for
there's-
one-on-ones.
Exactly. So networking groups, BNI, and I think there's a couple other networking groups, but they come in and they do their one-to-ones, grab the coffee,
Right.
Whoever's initiated the one-to-one. Actually, we have a deal for the networking group. So
Okay.
if someone's coming and, you're a BNI member or I want to meet with you, you buy the coffee, the other one's free. So
Whoa. So
Yeah.
how many people can you handle? So like, say I have a networking group and we're about
Yep.
20 people.
Right.
Can you?
We had 22 yesterday.
Nice.
Yep. So we had a group that was in there, and the count was, with staff, probably 24. So
Nice.
yeah, we were very accommodating. We have other network groups that are planning to be there. So,
Okay.
that's our goal. And again, it's not just a barista. We want people that understand, this is all business owners. So
Right.
their level of professionalism should be a little bit more than just.
So is it just coffee, or you have some snacks or stuff like that?
So we're working on the snacks, and we would love to partner with someone that wants to provide food. But with our limited food permit, we do have packaged
Yes.
danishes, muffins. But we're actually collaborating with someone that
We got a
would like to.
bakery right around from you, don't you?
Yeah, we have quite a few that might want that spot. Someone approached us with vegan options, and there's a lot of people that with the new things, keto, vegan. So we cater to that. So we have oat milk, coconut milk, almond milk, and then no milk for those that want that. And of course, the espresso is just amazing. So
I have had that coffee, and that
Okay.
that espresso is absolutely off the hook good.
yes, and just to let you know, we make it the way the manufacturer tells us every single time.
Right.
So 18 grams in, 27 grams out. That's it.
amazing.
All the time.
Oh.
And if it doesn't flow right for us,
Right.
we're not giving it to you.
So how long have you been open now?
November 1st was our opening day.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Way to
thank
open
you.
up in a pandemic.
Thank
Good for you.
Great timing, right?
Look, entrepreneurs take advantage of the situation that's going on. So
Right.
if you can get a better lease, because it's not, not everybody's knocking on your door to open a
Right,
business
right,
up, right?
right.
You need to lease that property out.
Exactly.
People think I'm nuts because I moved my studio into a mall.
Right.
That's supposedly dying, which it's not.
And this is a cool place. I
Right?
love this.
So
I think you should do tours outside of this.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm telling you.
You
this
come
is
lead
really
them,
nice.
we'll do them.
Absolutely.
It's a whole 5-second tour. But it takes entrepreneurs like you that go, I see a need, and there has been a need. But, so what is your busiest day? I know that's a weird question to ask for what you do, but there's got to be one day that's like, oh my God, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, and here's the best part, and I hope the rest of downtown Newport Richie is not listening, but it's Monday.
Right. Oh, really?
Monday, when everyone else is closed.
Whoa.
It's Monday. Monday.
What time do you guys open up in the morning?
7 in the morning.
7 a.m.?
Yep, and that's because
Do
we're
you
open
ever
9 to
sleep?
5. No, sleep soberated.
Sleep over. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That's it, all the time. Hopefully. We don't know. I don't know.
could be running around with pitchforks after me, whatever.
Exactly. So it was 9 to 5.
Okay.
But a lot of our customers said, I'm at work. What can you do? Well, we changed our hours. That's what we can do.
Okay.
So we
Come
did
in,
that.
pop in, get a coffee, and
Get your coffee. We can order coffee from the phone and have it ready over there. So you can go in. We've got parking in the rear. That's super important. I got to mention that. We
Yeah.
have parking in the rear. It's not just Main Street. Parking in the rear, you come around, pull right in, come inside. Your coffee's already paid for. Grab your coffee and you're good to go.
that's phenomenal.
Yeah. And the booking for the room.
That was my next
everything's
question,
there.
because I know those are apartments on top.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
Or condos. And I know they have to park somewhere. But
Yep.
I was going to
They've got the underground garage. They've got other parking spots, but the ones that are for the retail is
Right.
that whole strip. And that's dedicated for
the
our
chamber
customers.
must be loving you.
The chamber people love me. Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah.
if anybody out there knows chamber people, we drink 3 things: coffee, beer, and wine.
Yep.
Maybe some alcohol in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that little corner is excellent, and that's
Yes.
why I brought the brochure, because the dented keg is right there.
Yes.
So, you can have that happy hour after you've done your work over at us.
Right.
So we'll close at 5, kick you out, and send you down there.
Go
And
next
then
door.
that's it.
Now you get the real stuff.
There you go. And,
This is phenomenal. Any specials coming up?
So Chasco obviously is a
Oh,
big
boy.
deal. So
Yeah.
our hours, we're not going to really predict it. We're just going to try to stay open as much as we can,
As you can.
to cater for everyone. So
Right.
we'll go above and beyond, because we want to
is
make sure people get exposed to the place. And the key thing is really, I can't say this enough. You have to come in. As soon as you come in,
You'll get it.
You'll get it.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even ask this, what got you into doing a coffee bar like this?
Okay, so during the pandemic, it was a nice little lesson because the offices were closed. Everyone was forced to close. Right. There were a few coffee shops that stayed open. And if you were, out during that time, I know a lot of people were inside, but if you were out, that's where you met. And, heaven forbid you needed to print or something like that, copy, scan. We do that all there.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you have a true business center there as well.
Absolutely, yes. 100%. So you want to copy something, we'll beat the prices from those other places. So absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so come in. I know there was a doctor that just walked in out on the street and he was like, hey, I need to fax. And they said, you're the place.
You're the place.
Which is awesome. I love that. We got you. We took care of it. And we faxed that out for him. But how many people need a fax? But we have it.
I didn't think faxes were a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Insurance companies,
right?
It's still big with them. Scripts when you have to prescription.
Right.
It's what they use. They're not changing, so you got to accommodate.
So give the address real quick.
It's 5500 Main Street, and it's Unit 108. We're right next to Sammy's surf shop. So there's a big surfboard. Right. That means go inside. That's it right there. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Tampa Bay Business Connections this week. I told you this week was great. We had some great people. We even had a fill in there. So, hey, stick around. See you next week. Again, for Tampa Bay Business Connections, have a good week.